Hi. Oh, I'm looking at. I said this before. I need to put a sticker over the viewfinder. Meow, 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 meow. Because it's invisible. Something to. What it is, yeah, is that I've got a big screen over here. And to distract my eye back from the screen, back over to there. I just want to say beer is healthy, and I know that, like, for some people, I had this conversation before with my mum. For some people, like, beer causes mental illness, I know that, and for some people, marijuana causes mental illness, and for me personally, marijuana causes, and it never used to do this when I smoked it when I was a teenager, but now it does. It causes me crazy anxiety, and like I I had it. I smoked some yesterday. Yeah, like two like tiny crumbs in a spliff. I mean, you could barely see the weed that was in it. A single skin, and this morning I was tortured with anxiety. I was, and guilt and grief. To be real, guilt and grief about, like, I've smoked it, and it's caused me this anxiety, and I was telling myself, it'll pass. Like, once I was rude to someone, yeah, and I felt like a monster after that, and I told myself, well, what happened was it passed pretty quick, and I was okay. And I compared it to that, and I said, it's okay. It'll pass quite soon, like that did. Everything will be fine. Um, but yeah, I had a beer, and I'm feeling pretty dope. And what it is, yeah, is that actually I'm distracted. No, I can't. I can't. It's inappropriate for me to explain what is going on with me at the moment. There's two sides to it. There's people being rude, people dehumanizing me sexually, literally being predators. In the disgusting way they think about me. And then there's the other side, which is my problem, which is that I have a problem with seeing people, seeing people as people. I've been treated very badly. I've been abused, and I need to learn and need to heal in the way of, like, understanding that people don't mean things, in such a horrid way as what I think, So there's that as well. So there's, like, balance there, you know. Um, but my kind of head feels weird, and I feel kind of sloshy. I only had one beer, but I did down it. I feel kind of sloshy, but I feel really good. I've got the floor man coming in about half an hour. Oh, let me just rest my neck back here for a minute, please. Just do me the favor. I know I'm going to have to adjust the way that I'm sitting. I know that, because if I have to do this to get comfortable, let me just check I'm still in the frame. Then I'm just I'm getting, right, the energy to adjust my position. Yeah. So, to be real, yeah, weed really isn't my drug. And I my boundaries are very subtle. And I really learn my way into how to say no, and I have to learn my way into understanding how weed doesn't help me, how weed, because had I smoked a full on, like, share a joint with someone time, yeah, it really would have damaged me. I mean, it would have given me like crazy anxiety to the point where, you know how, like, anybody who's got anxiety will know that anxiety can actually put a person in danger of the thing they're afraid of. It can. And, I don't want to put myself in danger. I don't want to, because I'm learning that human beings are, um, I'm trying to think of how to say it. Human beings in their hearts, they are good. I mean, some will use a person for money, some will use a person for sex, but really, having boundaries and just saying no to people is really enough. And I don't really know where I'm going with that, to be honest. That I need to learn that human beings are good, and I'm getting there. I am getting there. I said this before. It was like when I was a kid, yeah, I had a very strong sense of like safety. I had a very strong sense that nobody wanted to harm me. And some of it may have been naivety, to be honest. But some of it was real. And I need to get back that feeling of safety because, like I say, some of it is real. In fact, I would even go as far as to say, like, most of it is real. Most of it is real, and I need to get that back. I need to understand that people are good. That because I have like I know I'm shouting, but it doesn't matter. I've got to get my voice down on the tape. Um, you know. I need to learn that people are good. I need to I have like a, don't know what to call it, maybe like a delusion or something, something that's clouding my awareness, and I feel that it's because I was abused when I was in prison, and I I saw people as monsters after that. I couldn't socialize with anyone. I remember when I was at a hostel, and what was her name? Can't remember her name. That's a bummer. Anyway, she said to me, you've been hurt because I didn't want to socialise with anyone at this hostel. She says, you've been hurt. And I said, yes, I have. But like, it's only at the moment that I realise exactly how badly I have been hurt. I've really felt that people are monsters, and I tried to commit suicide. I mean, I guess that's a trigger, and I am going to talk about it. So, if you're triggered by that, then please take care of yourself. But like, I took a whole bunch of rat poison, and to be honest, I don't understand why I'm not dead. I feel like the Lord swooped in and saved me. It was anticoagulant, and I ate a lot of it. I did. I ate a block and a third of this anticoagulant. And I'm just starting to see how much. I mean, and I had suicidal feelings for like years and years after that, after being abused in prison, because like I felt people were monsters. I felt like I'd literally isolated myself in my home. I'd never go out to see anyone. I was totally isolated. I'd see my mum like every month or every 2 weeks or whatever, but I was totally isolated. I wouldn't work. I wouldn't socialize with anyone. And the people I did socialize with were probably, well, not probably, definitely not the best people for me. Respect to them fully. respect all people, regardless of how they live their lives. It's just me and them were so different that we had no business being together, and I couldn't see that. And, I would socialize with people who were bad for me in that respect. Not that they're bad people, but bad for me as in like they were so different to me. Like I say, we had no business being together, you know. I was so passive that their ways that weren't authentic to me would just overwhelm me, anyways, I had a good time. I got into drugs. I had a good time, and I did. But yeah, it is what it is, so I don't know. I don't know. This has been quite a long video already. I don't quite know how long to make it. Anyway, I'm gonna take that back because I just wanna be authentic, and I just wanna get my shit, on my channel, So yeah, at the moment is the time that I'm realizing that how hurt I've been, and that I need to heal, and I need to sort of like open myself up to how good people are, and how, I mean, like, I need to like do voluntary work and get myself around people who really want the best for me, people who are really good people who can teach me that humanity exists, ethics exists, people are good. Get myself around good people so that, the predators don't bother me anymore, because I just think, you have your issues, and that's all I'm going to think about it, um, pretty much, whether they be money predators or sexual predators, just think you have your issues, and I respect you because I respect everyone. I do. I literally do respect everyone. I don't see how there's any other way to live. And I'm really grateful for being transgender, because if there's one thing that it's taught me, is that to respect everyone, however they live their lives. I mean, I don't want to go into it because it's not going to come off right, but I've met lots of different people, and I respect them all. I do. I'm going to have boundaries. I'm going to not be fucking with people who are bad for me. I'm going to not be doing that, because I have learned that people's karma touches me. If I'm fucking with people who have bad karma, it touches me, and it's like, I respect them 100%. When I see them, I'm going to be polite to them. I'm going to be respectful to them. I'm going to be, kind to them. But I'm going to not let their karma touch me, because, their life, the way they're living is not for me. And I'm just not going to be fucking with them. For that reason, for the reason of like, I don't want their karma touching me, because I've had like being scared of leaving my flat. In the UK it's called a flat, not an apartment. Apartments are much better, I must admit. It does sound much better. I must be real about that. But I've been with people who steal for a living, and I respect that. I do. Because like politicians, anybody who's rich is literally taking money off other people. It's the way of the world. But I was scared 24/7 that I was going to be robbed, and that was because I was fucking with that kind of vibe. It was in my face. I was aware of it, and I thought it was going to happen to me. And I think that's fair. Um, to be honest, I don't know what direction I'm going to take this in from here. I'm kind of holding space for that. I feel like odd, when it's like my body language has taken on like it's become a monster, to be real. My body language has become a monster, because like, the way I walk, the way I move, it's all become so. I mean, I feel like, to be real, I feel like people who watch me or listen to me speak or whatever see me as being so outrageous. I just I, I what it is, yeah, is it literally is the blessing of having been a boy. Um, I mean, I'd say, obviously the right answer for a trans girl is that I never was a boy. I always, needed to change and become the true gender that I am. But the last time I was a boy, I'd put it down. This has been quite anal. I'd put it down to the point of like when I took my first estrogen pill, and once I took that first pill, I never stopped. I never stopped taking it. Apart from when I was fucking with being in mental hospital and they wouldn't let me. I don't know, fucking die. Is all I can say to people like that. But so this is 2010, I think, when I started taking estrogen. So what's that, 9 years ago? So I mean, I had a boy's consciousness. The physiology of the mind of like a boy and a girl is very different, and I have transitioned from that awareness into a female awareness, and that has literally just um destroyed everything as a person that I was. It has literally destroyed every piece of me, because going through that experience has made me realize that nothing is real. Nothing is real. I mean, the if like a person could like put an amount on how real a person is, um I would say that I'm more real than other people are. I would. um I'm just more real. And that comes through in the way I move and in the way I speak, and it's just there. It's something, I'm different to other people, and um but like I say, what I have to do is I have to see the beauty in other people, because everybody has their own beauty. Everybody has their own way. And like I say, I've been hurt. I've been hurt in prison. I was attacked. I've been in serious danger of having my arm broken like 3 times in prison. And you know, I don't know. It was very, very traumatic. Very, actually, some very hard to deal with emotions are coming up for me at the moment, because literally, I know that if my arm had broken the first time that they tried to break it, I would have died, because I would literally would have had a heart attack and died right there. Because the whole situation was way more stressful than I could handle, and the stress would have killed me. I That's what I'm saying. That's how I remember it, and that's what I'm gonna say. But yeah, I need to learn the beauty of other people. You see, because what it is, yeah, is that I found the beauty in myself. And it's not hard to see. It's not hard to see, because my beauty comes from like authenticity and from this huge difference between me and other people. You know, my experiences. You know how like a person's experiences make that person who they are. You know, I mean, it's not just that; it's spirituality as well that really does it. But my experiences have made me who I am, and they have made me very different from other people. It shows. It shows quite hard. And so it's easy for me to love myself, I do. It's pretty dope that I can say that, because like I've been practicing self-love for, about 3 or 4 months, that what did it for me was there was this video, right? Katuna Satori, right? She's an ASMR girl and she's very good. And she has her own struggles. She's struggling with depression and whatnot. But she said about this experiment where, and this will take quite some explaining, to be honest. She said like there was this water experiment, yeah, where two things of water in like a lab were, one was spoken to nicely, one was spoken trash talk to and hate, and one formed these beautiful ice crystals and the other one formed ugly ones. And also in the one that was trash talked to were these parasites that weren't in the good water, and like, to be real, it's the same water. So what the fuck are parasites doing in one glass and not the other? I mean, fucking don't. I'm not stupid. Okay, I get the importance of that. And it sent me on a whole. Literally, learning that sent me on a whole journey. I mean, the moment I learned it, I was there. I'd got to the place where I needed to be. I was there with like, okay, so clearly, being loving is really the most powerful force, the most powerful thing out there. Clearly love has made such a difference to these two glasses of water. And straight away, the way I let that manifest itself in my life was that I said, right, it's going to be self-love. I'm going to tell myself, I love you, I love you, I love you. And that's when I started about 3 or 4 months ago, telling myself, I love you. And literally, it changed my life in such a huge way. I don't really... I mean, I'm being... Like, I'm saying it as in, like, facts, these... Just telling it in sort of like a matter-of-fact way, that's how it was, and that made like a huge effect on me, and it changed my life. Starting to get into self-love really changed me, because what it did was it healed me a lot. I mean, I've got a lot more healing to do, but it healed me a lot from the space that I was holding with people being monsters. Because like I say, how I'd been treated in prison was very, very hugely, massively, majorly hateful. I'd been treated with such hate, and I feel that when someone treats a person with hate like that, and when there's like a big physical sort of exchange, like violence or whatever, that what gets transferred to the victim is that consciousness of hate that the people who were hating that person had. Literally, their consciousness is forced into that victim. That's the whole point of people being hateful, to force their consciousness into that victim. And the consciousness, it goes in and it stays there, and that victim holds the same consciousness that those hateful people had. That's how fucking damaged I became. That fucking damaged, that I felt that everybody was a monster. Everybody was like literally just a horrible, nasty, evil human being. That's how I held space for everybody for like years. And getting into self-love, that's the point. That's the time where the change happened inside me, where I started to begin to escape from the hate that had like poisoned my soul. I started to begin to escape from the hate, and like I say, I've got a lot more work to do. I do see that Um, I need to feel safe around people. I need to feel that people are human beings. They are at their center, people are good. That within like the thing of like, although people are good, some are damaged. I mean, I can understand it in like how I was damaged. I was damaged very badly. Like I say, this is a trigger warning. Like I say, I did try and take my own life with enough rat poison that should have killed me easily. I did try and take my own life, and I can understand that some people are damaged, but essentially people are love. you know um and there is something interesting here, which is that how the Bible says that it has a, what are they called, parables. There's like a parable of, there's this wheat field, right? And someone comes along and they plant weeds or thistles or thorns or something in this wheat field, and it has to wait until, literally, the parable means, I know you're not supposed to describe what a parable means, because the point of a parable is so that seeing they hear and hearing they don't understand. Literally, that's so bad people don't get what a parable means, but I'm going to explain it. It means that at the end of the world, right, this wheat field will be harvested. Because what it says is that they're going to let the wheat grow till it's ripe, and then harvest everything in the field. And then when it's harvested, then at that point they separate the weeds from the wheat, because it's the only way of doing it. It's the only way it's going to work. And that's like a metaphor for the world, where at the end of the world, or say like at the end of a person's life, or whatever, the good people and the bad people will be separated. But I kind of struggle with that, because I don't know, I feel that's much more deep than like I can get into, to be honest. But I do see people as essentially good, and there's, I don't, I really, this train of thought that I'm on, I really don't want to go down, because to be honest, I can't pull it off. I'll be real, I can't pull it off. I can't, and that probably means that I'm wrong, with what I'm saying. So I'm gonna not go there. Anyway, I've enjoyed making this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I try to make my videos interesting and, thought-provoking, or just, I know that I have something that is worth sharing. So I hope you liked it, and I'm always here to make more videos, always here making more. So have a good one, and goodbye.